Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about sports psychology, specifically dealing with injuries. So I prepared a presentation, PowerPoint for you guys, and hopefully we can all learn some new things. My name is Mason Brypole, and I'm going to share a little bit of my story. So my junior year of high school, I was on the baseball team, and during the game, I was just running on the base paths and felt a pop in my hip, and it was really painful. And with the doctors, x-rays revealed that I had an avulsion fracture, which is essentially a part of the bone, little chunk breaking off from the rest of the main part of the bone, caused by my muscles being stronger than bones at this stage in my development. So fortunately, my senior year, I was able to, make a recovery, and through physical therapy, support of others, I was able to bat leadoff, and our team won the section championship. So it was a really successful year for both myself and the team. I'm going to discuss. So, father of sports psychology is Coleman Griffith. He is from the United States and was a professor of educational psychology at the University of Illinois. And his work started in 1925 with the publication of his book Psychology and its relation to athletic competition. So he had other books that he wrote and was actually hired by the Chicago Cubs in 1938 as a sports psychologist. So he made some pretty big strides for the industry. Freud, as well, Sigmund Freud and his daughter Anna Freud, spent years developing defense mechanisms that they felt the body and mind used to kind of ward off anxiety, other issues that they felt were posed a threat to the body. So repression is definitely one that I used in my injury. Repression, basically, you just kind of try and push it out of your mind. For me, the injury itself, as far as the pop of my hip and that distinct just feeling, I tried to try and remove that from my memory. Didn't want to think about it. Denial is the next one that I'm going to focus on. I used that one as well when the doctor was giving me my diagnosis, the timetable for my return. Definitely was in denial, did not want to realize and just admit that I would, have to miss my remaining season. So baseball was definitely a sublimation mechanism for me, which it means basically that it is a way for me to deal with stress, kind of release some emotions in a constructive manner. And unfortunately, once I lost that, displacement mechanisms I used, which replacing baseball was, I had bottled up, anger and frustration that I would unfortunately take out on others, and it was a pretty challenging time for me, definitely. So, reality anxiety is also one of some of Freud's work, and basically, it is the fear of real-world events. So, for many athletes, that could be the fear of injury, or others maybe like the example of fear of a dog bite. Any of these can cause this reality anxiety, where a person struggles with the fear of this, and some may even remove themselves from the situation. For an athlete, for example, could be possibly choosing a different sport or quitting the sport altogether. So this comes back to motivation, intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. And for me, intrinsic motivation is the love of the game, where you can make this argument with collegiate players versus professionals. The collegiate ones are intrinsically motivated, where they have just a love for the game, really enjoy playing, and just as simple as that. Whereas extrinsically motivated individuals may, do it for the money, any external factors, pride, reward, praise, anything that's not simply just for the love of the game. And so I was definitely intrinsically motivated during my injury, and I was able to help my recovery, where I dedicated myself to the therapy process, and really wanted to get back to playing the game that I loved. So to continue, memory is definitely a huge component involving injuries. Procedural memory is how you remember certain things. So for myself, when I was out for over a couple months, I was able to come back and remember how to play. That was part of my procedural memory that helped me do so. Episodic memory is basically your memories from your experiences, such as high school, birthdays, any just events in your life that were memorable. And however, if these memories kind of bother you, or for athletes dealing with these injuries, they may have to use guided image therapy to help overcome these obstacles and get through these challenges. So basically, it's a form of hypnosis, and the person visualizes, being back on the field, running, or whatever they might have been doing when they got injured. And in combination with physical therapy, this can definitely be effective and help quicken the recovery time. So according to Elizabeth Quinn, a sports psychologist, she offered 7 ways to cope with the emotional stress of an injury. And many of these I've already touched on, but I wanted to provide some for you guys. Learning about your injury, accepting responsibility, maintaining a positive attitude, using your mind to heal the body, getting support, setting appropriate goals, and definitely maintaining your fitness while you're injured. And that kind of leads to a good recovery and can definitely be tied into Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where sports is not on this hierarchy. However, the byproducts of sports can be relationships and feelings of accomplishment, and eventually lead to self-actualization. So for many, the sports are just a huge component of a person's life. And when you're dealing with the injury and the mental struggles accompany that, that can definitely be a challenging time. I experienced it myself, and I hope that it doesn't happen. But if it does, hopefully you guys can implement some of these ideas and help your recovery